in any way.
Thank you, Minister. Senator Whish-Wilson.
Thank you, President. My question is to the Minister of Defence, Senator Payne. Minister, in the Defence White Paper today, you outlined a massive increase in expenditure, an extra $30 billion on defence over the next 10 years. However, nowhere in the Defence White Paper does it detail any formal increase in the overall threat level to Australia. Minister, can you confirm there has been no change in the threat level? And if so, how does this justify the massive increase in defence spending?
The Minister for Defence, Senator Payne.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, and I thank Senator Whish-Wilson for the question. Mr. President, I think that if one casts an eye across, in fact, the White Paper itself, particularly in relation to the strategic outlook, Australia's security environment, the issues that canvasses in the White Paper, Australia's defence strategy, the future Australian Defence Force and a number of other aspects of it, in fact, Mr. President, including the chapter referred to as, or called, Positioning Defence for Tomorrow's Challenges. What the reader and those interested would see is that we have very carefully and very methodically assessed the circumstances in which we find ourselves now in the early years of the 21st century, but most importantly across the decade hence and the one beyond that, Mr. President. We recognise that the security environment is, to say the very least, dynamic, is changing all the time. The threats of non-state actors with which we have men and women of the ADF dealing every single day in Iraq and Syria.
Order, Minister. Senator Whish-Wilson, a point of order.
President, we've always had a security environment like that. I'm asking whether we have an official increase in the security threat level in the White Paper to justify the expenditure.
Thank you, Senator Whish-Wilson. There is no point of order. The Minister was answering your question directly. In particular, she was just referring, as you rose to your feet, about constant changes in threat levels. Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. As I was saying, we do have men and women of the ADF currently deployed in Iraq and Syria, dealing with some of those very, very dynamic changes in Australia's security environment, to use or security threats, to use Senator Whish-Wilson's words. That is but one example, Mr. President, of where we are dealing with a very challenging world environment. Domestically and within our region, Mr. President, we deal with, and defence is most definitely involved in and a focus on this sort of activity internationally because of the sorts of issues that Senator Whish-Wilson has raised. So domestically and then within our region, we also have, whether it's returned foreign fighters, whether it's local near-state fragility, those sorts of issues are in fact very dynamic ones.
Thank
Mr. President.
you, Minister.
The White Paper addresses very directly. I failed to see where Senator Whish-Wilson is